Paying a mechanic to fix your car soon? Today, we're going to look at 6 simple steps you could take to avoid being scammed by any mechanic. Welcome to Automotive for Beginners. You don't have to be a pro mechanic to find out what's wrong with your car, but you will have to put in a little effort and time and be good at guessing to avoid being scammed by shady mechanics. So, let's get started. Before you visit a mechanic for your car repair, step 1 is to diagnose the issue you're having with your vehicle. And when we talk about diagnosing issues, we're talking about mechanical issues in this video. Electrical issues are a bit more advanced and are not included here. But as long as you can see the mechanical components of your vehicle with your own eyes, you can technically diagnose those mechanical issues yourself. Doing this first will help you prepare before agreeing to any repairs that the mechanics throw at you. So what's a good way to get started in diagnosing, you might ask? Well, each case will be different, but if you use the sample list I bring up here, anything on this list are mechanical parts that you can diagnose yourself with no equipment. Feel free to take a screenshot and use this as a reference the next time you diagnose your own mechanical issues. So let's say for today's example you notice something wrong while braking. When you go to hit the brake pedal, you notice the car tends to pull in one direction more than the other very often. To diagnose the issue, you would have to look at your brake system with your own eyes. For instance, here we see one side of the brake caliper on the vehicle. You'll notice everything looks nice and dry here and that there's no signs of leakage. So far everything looks good. But you'll notice on the other side on the vehicle there is some leakage and it's coming out of the brake caliper. This is a good indication that your brakes won't work properly due to the leakage. You can already see visually that something is wrong with the car underneath. Now that you've found the issue, it's time to move on to the next step. Step 2 is to confirm your issue with research. You'll have to go online and find articles that match the symptoms your car is having to make the correct fix. I suggest going to 5 different websites with related articles to look up your car symptoms. This will give you better odds in making the right decision. Here on this website addressing braking issues, we can see that the car will pull to one side or the other if one of the brake calipers goes bad. This will result in uneven braking and unbalanced stopping, as mentioned in the article. This matches our own symptoms of pulling during braking from our example earlier. Now here, another article mentions that a leaking caliper could cause the brake system to lose all hydraulic pressure over time, which would lead to brake failure. So here we can see that researching online helps us find useful information that we can match with our own car symptoms. And taking a bet to repair the brake caliper will likely repair the issue that we're having with the vehicle. So step 3 is to make a decision on what you've found once you've done the research. The goal is to spend as little money as possible to fix your problem and only work your way up if you need to. So buying a new caliper in this example will be the cheapest option to start out with in fixing a leaking caliper. If it works, you'd save a bunch of money before the problem gets worse. If not, then you just move on to the next cheapest solution down the line until the repair works. Note, this is where shady mechanics do their most covert work. They may realize you only need a new brake caliper to solve the issue, but instead, they'll recommend more expensive options just to put more labor profit into their pockets. Without looking at the parts yourself, you're at the mercy of the mechanic's recommendations. Now step number 4 is to search for parts and labor once you've decided what to repair. For replacing the brake caliper, we have 2 options. We can buy the part from the mechanic or dealership, or we can go aftermarket. If we go aftermarket, we can go online and find a brand new brake caliper for $68.99, which is $33.99 for the price plus the core deposit of $35. This comes with a full warranty and shipping if we spend over $100. It's something to consider if your mechanic doesn't offer warranty on his parts. I suggest going with new aftermarket parts if you want to avoid the premium charges from the dealers and mechanics. Once you found a good price on parts, the next step is to find out how much labor will cost. As you can see on my screen, labor for replacing the brake caliper on the PT Cruiser will take about 1.2 hours. The mechanic will take 1 hour to remove the brake pads to get access to the front brake calipers, and then he'll need another 0.2 hours to remove and replace the brake calipers. So when you ask the mechanic how long it will take to replace the brake caliper, he should reply that it will take about 1.2 hours. Anything significantly longer than that and you know you'd be getting ripped off. Having a tool like this helps keep shady mechanics in check. If you want to find out the tool mechanics use to find labor rates for almost all vehicle repairs, link is down below. After you've asked around for parts and labor costs, step 5 is to make an appointment to get your car fixed. But make sure to get a quote in writing. Getting a quote in writing will be very important for the next step. Step 6 is once the mechanic has repaired your vehicle, is to compare the quote in writing to the final bill in writing. Here, if you're paying the exact same thing, then you know everything is good. Some shops, however, will charge up to 10% more on the final bill for any surprise issues they found while fixing your vehicle. That's usually okay, but any more than 10% being charged on your final bill, and you can make a claim to recover extra money charged to you. Each province and state will differ, but they should all have a regulatory government body for keeping automotive shops in check for overcharging customers. Here in Alberta, we have AMVIC, which stands for Alberta Motor Vehicle Industry Council. So having a quote in writing and a final bill in writing will serve you well if you think you got overcharged. This will allow you to only pay close to what was quoted, which saves you and your money. Many people do not request a quote in writing, and that's why they're easily getting screwed over. So there you go, 6 simple steps to take to create savings for your next car repair and avoid shady mechanics. Any mechanical component you can see visually, you can practically diagnose yourself. Using these steps here could be the difference between saving $200 to $1,000 extra for your car repair next time. That's extra money you can use to join my Patreon and get access to top level stuff, and to keep this content going. That's okay though, I don't charge a lot for people to get the insider access, so you can stay rich with your savings. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit subscribe and hit that like button. This is Automotive for Beginners, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.